Hi everyone, welcome to Buckle Up Podcast. I'm Natalia Earle and I'm a certified business and life coach that loves talking to people. I'm fascinated by humans and how our brain works. What is it that makes a decision good or bad, and how does that decision ultimately shape our path and destiny? Everyone loves to talk about success, but what about the flip side? How about adversity? Failure is such a big and often necessary part of life, and it's simply unavoidable. So I invite you to join me on this inspiring, honest, unpolished interview show with breathtakingly real conversations that go deep on setbacks and hardships that are part of the puzzle that ultimately lead to growth, discovery of inner greatness, and what makes us resilient. Grab your helmet and buckle up, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But what a ride it will be. In this educational episode, we are back with Jason Rodriguez for part 2, who's a personal defense trainer and subject matter expert with 26 plus years of law enforcement experience. Jason is a founder of the Miami-based nonprofit iProtectUSA Tactical Training Academy. His training goal is to provide everyone a means to defend themselves, protect their families, and guard their property. To register or request his training programs, products, or services, please visit iProtectUSA.com. You guys, Jason shared so much incredibly valuable information with me that I decided to split this podcast up into 2 parts. So friends, buckle up because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Even though sometimes when you put us in the arena, it's like the most stressful minutes of my life, those 7 to 8 minutes, but I learned so much. It's amazing, and it's mind-blowing because you think you know, but you don't know, or you react certain way. I mean, down to the point how to use a flashlight, right? How not to hesitate. Everything that you teach is life-changing. I tell people that every gun owner should go through your training, and every gun owner, it should be like a requirement through a state or a government. It really should be. I think we would have so much more safer gun owners, or people that understand what they're dealing with and how to deal with the situational awareness. So let's talk about guns a little bit. Why are people so afraid of them, in your opinion, and what can we do to change this, besides it being also political at times?
Sure. One of the problems that we've seen with the numbers over time is the perception.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our perceptions are developed or brought to us through television.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll see the gunfire, and people are flying through the air and it's blowing people's body parts off. So it's designed to dramatize what we're watching and make it appealing for for the action junkies. And so it has its place there.
Mm-hmm.
It's art. We'll look at it that way. It's an art form. But the reality is sometimes completely different from that. But they come in with that weight. They come in with, oh my God, it's a gun. If it goes off, it's going to blow my head off. And I understand that. One of the things that I had to deal with when I first started my gun carrying profession was I hadn't fired a gun before. And so that's why I was first introduced to the gun.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have those tendencies. I wasn't afraid of it. I was curious, and I had been training the combatives before that. So I understood, how it all worked, and I worked with weapons before, just not the gun. So I lived that apprehension, and not just for me, but for those around me with the guns who were more nervous than I thought they should have been. There's 7 liabilities that we cover in training. The first is going to be the physical liability, meaning how did you get over that physically? The second is going to be psychologically, and we'll tie emotionally into that. Did you survive that? You know, was it so traumatic for you that now you have post-traumatic stress disorder or something to that nature? Number three is criminally. Did you do something that got you into trouble, arrested? Uh, did it get somebody else arrested? Is there a liability criminally that you may be facing in the future because of what you had to do? First three, civilly. You're going to get sued, maybe. You know, who's going to come to your rescue in a lawsuit? How much is it going to cost you to defend yourself? And when we look at the current climate, what they're doing is they're taking people that are using guns for their personal defense and they're putting them through the criminal justice system. Although we have the right to protect ourselves as humans, they're still going through that process. Those are the first four. Spiritually, did everything that, whatever your belief system is, did you cover all those things with your clergy, with your church, with your spiritual leaders? Did you cover that already? You better have had that covered already. And we talk about that in training. Administratively, you could have done everything before that right. Something else that I want to give your listeners that's free. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a lesson. Usually I have a bell, like a doorbell, ding, you know, the one that you find at the hotels. Usually I have one.
Right.
I don't have it now. Yeah. So this one is this, guys, please, your targets. If you're shooting very precise, your groupings, I know you want to show, you want to take a selfie with your targets. I've seen this. I've seen cases. You can go and do research on it as well. They're going to challenge, if you're so precise, if you're so accurate with your weapons, how come you didn't shoot the gun out of that person's hand, the knife? How come you didn't just shoot him in the toe? If you're so precise, because we got your social media stuff. It shows you shooting precise, nice groupings. You're like an expert. You're better than a sniper. Typically, we know that the case isn't going to be based totally on that. But if you follow current cases on television, you'll see they go through all of it. Everything is scrutinized, everything. Don't let them do that to you, because that case, although let's say you get through it, you're going to make that trial a 2-day trial. You'll make it a 2-week trial. Who's paying for that? You are.